In our first lesson, we looked at single stroke roll, double stroke roll, paradiddles, and flams. This lesson, I'm going to introduce accents into some of those sticking patterns, and we're going to use them in some musical styles. Okay? We're going to start by doing just a one-hand exercise, learning to play accents using a whip-like motion with your wrist. I'm going to start with the left hand, just on the snare drum, and we're going to do an accented note and then an unaccented note. And to play the unaccented note, it's going to feel like you're just dropping the bead or the tip of the stick back onto the head, like this. Here's the accented, unaccented, accent, unaccent. Now with the other hand. So you can see how it's just really basically dropping the bead of the stick back down to get that second note, that unaccented note. And a lot of guys attribute this to being able to play really quickly. Now, let's take it up to speed a little bit more, one hand at a time still, and then we'll put it together. Now pause the video and work on that technique, get it real smooth. Okay, now that you're back, I want you to move your left hand to the hi-hat and do that same thing. We're going to be playing the hi-hat pattern for a basic rock or funk groove. Okay, here we go. All right, you see how that could serve as a good basic rock groove? Now let's add the kick and snare. And I'm going to turn the metronome on here, and we'll play along with the metronome. One, two, three, four. Now again, pause the video and work on that pattern. You got your left hand on the hi-hat because the hi-hat's on the left-hand side of the drum set. It makes sense. I know, most guys play their right hand on the hi-hat, but that's because that's how their teachers taught them, and that's because that's how their teachers taught them. It totally makes sense to me to open up our posture so that we play instruments that are on the left-hand side of the drum set with the left hand, and on the right-hand side of the drum set with the right hand. In fact, we'll come back and do that after you've practiced that basic rock groove. Start it slowly, and then work your way up if you want to. Okay, welcome back. Now, we're going to do the same thing with the right hand, though, on the ride cymbal, and playing the kick and then the snare drum with the left hand. Basic rock beat, again, with the metronome. Now here's just the ride by itself. You can hear the accents and the unaccented notes. Now, using GarageBand, we can get in and practice these patterns, playing along with some really nice sounding musical tracks. I'm going to have you open GarageBand and go into Magic GarageBand and use Roots Rock. Choose Roots Rock, and we'll play along with that. Okay, here we go. Now, there's another pattern that I want to teach you as well, and that is a swing pattern. Okay? Music style, swing, very, very popular even still, but mostly back in the 40s and 50s, is an important style of music for a drummer to be able to play. And there's a basic pattern that you're going to learn, both with your left hand on the hi-hat and the right hand on the ride cymbal. Okay, one at a time. We'll take the left hand first on the hi-hat. The pattern goes like this. Okay, so it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. You can feel that it's a triplet pattern. Unlike rock, which is more of a duple pattern, where there are 2 subdivisions per beat, whereas in swing there are 3 subdivisions per beat. We're playing a triplet feel, a swing feel. Also, you're opening the hi-hat for the 2 notes that are together. So 1, closed, open, open, closed, open, open. All right? Let's do that again on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now the sound of the open sound that you get is pretty important. You don't want it to be too open, but you also don't want it to be too closed. You want to find that nice sweet spot where you're just lifting up on your left foot enough to get a good sizzly sound. Okay, now on the ride cymbal, if you want to play it on the ride cymbal, it would go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And you can also close the hi-hat really crisply on beats 2 and 4 when you're playing that ride cymbal in swing, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, pause the video and try those, and then when we come back, we'll play along with Magic GarageBand's swing groove. Okay, if you're still in Magic GarageBand on your Mac, there's a Change Genre button in the lower left-hand corner. Click that Change Genre button, and then click the Jazz style, and click the Audition button, and it'll load up the jazz band, and you can play along with it. Here we go.